I saw this video from Wheezy Wade earlier, and I love his stuff, so let's watch this video.
Forgive me, my voice is a little weird right now. Getting over a bit of a cold. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from making a video, which is the point of the video. Get over yourself. 7 harsh truths for motivation. 7 things I do legit.
This is a super difficult topic for me because I often have a really hard time finding motivation to do things, and I also have a really hard time implementing discipline into my life. I find myself in a pattern a lot of times where I get really into something for a while, and then I end up slowly drifting away from it. It might be a diet that I'm really hard on for 2 or 3 months, and then I have a couple of cheat meals in a row, and then before I know it, I'm just completely off the diet, not going to the gym anymore, not doing what I need to do. And I think it's really a difficult thing because a lot of us rely on motivation, but I think that the majority of people who are super successful at things aren't motivated all the time. They know something about themselves and they know a way to get themselves to do things that they don't want to do. And I'm not very good at that skill.
Legitimately tell myself, even after 17 years of making videos, I still have self-doubt. I still
think
get a
everyone does.
motivation problem. But if you're having trouble starting things, or middling things, or doubting the thing you're about to finish, you're afraid of failure, I think this list is gonna help you. 1,
Jeez,
you'll
Charlie
never
Chaplin was
feel
nuts.
ready. I can't think of any month-long health experiment
And this is that thing. I think that so many projects that I've really been interested in, I've sat around and thought about to death to the point that I've thought to myself, there's no way you can do this. You don't have X, Y, and Z. It's not something that you're capable of. Don't even try it. You're just going to waste a whole bunch of time. Stick with what you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think that really keeps me away from trying new things a lot of times.
Or a big project I started where I'm like, oh, I'm 100% ready. Let's do it. There's always extenuating circumstances, little things that are making me hesitate. I'm too tired. I'm not knowledgeable enough about a thing. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
Most of the time, I don't know what's going to happen. You just have to.
And it's really dissuading to be thinking about doing a project that you know is going to take you an extremely large amount of time and then not knowing how it's going to turn out. I think one of the most frustrating things that used to happen to me when I was younger, because I've sort of always wanted to be on YouTube making content for about as long as I can remember. When YouTube first came out in 2004, I think it was, I started watching anime music videos and I started watching vloggers. Charlie Is So Cool Like was the very first one that I discovered, and it absolutely blew my mind and threw me into this whole world that I wish that I could have been a part of. But I was a kid. I was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old at the time, didn't have a video camera in my hands, didn't have a computer that could edit video, didn't understand how any of this stuff worked, but a dream was born. And as I got older, I made quite a few videos over the course of my lifetime that took me a super long amount of time to make, and those videos didn't do anything. I put in, weeks of my life editing and writing and getting footage and putting together a story, and they didn't do anything. And then I tried the daily vlogging thing, and it took over so much of my life, and no one was watching them. It wasn't doing anything. There was no reason for me to continue investing time in it because it wasn't getting me where I wanted to go. So I had to find ways to build these skills without just absolutely wrecking my personal life and my work life. And so I think that's a really, really difficult, uncertain thing that you have to deal with when you want to take on something new. You have to find a way to balance it into your life. And a lot of times when you can't, you just end up not trying.
To live in uncertainty. Feel like you don't have enough time. Whenever I tell myself I don't have time to do something,
Predicting the
I treat
future.
it as a red flag. Maybe I actually just don't want to do it. I'm currently in the middle of a 30,000 steps a day challenge. I was
that's
waiting
so
for the
much.
right time to start this challenge, and there was never a right time. So eventually, I was like, okay, I'll just start and see what happens.
Yeah, I really want to do a carnivore diet for a month just to see what that's like. You hear all these amazing stories about it. I have extremely skeptical opinions about it. But once again, it's like, oh, well, maybe one day when I'm whatever, and maybe I should just do it.
I'm on day 17 right now, and I've missed 3 days because I got sick.
Aw.
Otherwise, miraculously, I've been able to
30,000
find the
steps?
time to do 30,000
That's
steps while
insane.
still getting everything else done. It could be true you legitimately don't have time. But are you 100% sure about that? 2,
Yeah.
your what ifs.
I think that's true a lot of times, that you just actually don't want to do something. You sort of kind of want to have done it, but you don't want to do it. You don't want to go through what it's going to take from you in order to do it. And we as people are really bad about seeing the outcomes because that's what people show us. We see the famous YouTuber. We don't see all the work that it took them to get there. The other day I had a guy comment and say that that it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to be a YouTuber. Well, that's because you're not seeing behind the scenes. I have a hair in my mouth. There, I got it. I have, as I said, tried to be a YouTuber multiple times and try to be a YouTuber. I hate that term. I've tried to be making content on YouTube for a very long time, and it's really, really difficult. There's so much to balance, just in little things. Getting camera angles, getting the lighting right. What you see around me right now took so much time and effort for me to figure out the best way to do it on a budget and with the skill set that I have and the space that I have. You don't have just a giant studio to build these amazing things in and make this content like what you see these people who have all this money and it's their whole career. You don't have all those things. And the ability to solve the problems of your own unique situation requires such an insane level of thinking and trial and error and just all these little things that I think it's amazing to say that, oh, any idiot could be a YouTuber. Yes, any idiot could be a YouTuber, but most idiots are not YouTubers. That's the thing. I hate the term could or can because the opposite of it is can't, and that's not true. Anybody could, but most won't.
Are probably dumb. The failure scenarios in your head, they're probably too extreme, very unlikely. What I like to do is picture me doing the thing that I want to do and carrying it through to its most logical conclusion. Like, this is the most likely positive outcome. Pretty good, but not great. Most likely negative
When I get
outcome,
really interested in a new idea, I will just lay in bed and think about it for hours. It will completely wreck my sleep schedule because my brain will just pulsate on exactly how I'm going to do it for a super long. I will just imagine setting up the lights and how the setup that you're seeing right now, the room behind me, and my desk used to be over there just about a month and a half ago, and I had been against all reason and logic because I've tried so many times and I've never had any moniker of success with either streaming or making videos. I just wanted to do it again. It was taking over my brain. And I just thought about all the things that I had tried in the past and how they didn't work. And I was trying to solve all of the problems in my brain. And I would just lay there. And it was 11 o'clock at night. I'm trying to go to sleep. And then it's 1 a.m. And then it's 3 a.m. And I'm not even on my phone, just in my brain thinking about everything, adding up the totals of how much X, Y, and Z are going to cost. What's the best way for me to get what I want out of the budget that I have? How am I going to utilize the space around me? Those things were just buzzing in my brain, and man, it's intoxicating, and especially when you don't see a flaw. Oh my gosh, what a good
not
feeling.
That bad and manageable. Think about what you would actually do if you failed. Like, you're stressed out about deciding which college to go to, and then you go to one and you discover it's terrible and you don't like it, and then you can quit. Yeah, wasted money. Oh well. Eventually you find a different college, maybe a cheaper college, a community college.
People are so obsessed with wasting money right now. And I'm sure it's because the economy is really bad. We've been moving this way for a long time. There's a lot of ideas about frugality right now. There's a lot of ideas about making a ton of money. But I'm going to be honest with you. If you're not gambling on yourself constantly, if you're not gambling every day, getting on FanDuel and doing your spins, no, if you're not gambling on yourself, if you're not trying to maximize yourself every single day, then yeah, you're going to have problems for the rest of your life. If you're not out here trying to grow yourself as an individual, as a thinker, as a problem solver, as someone who creates and who does what they want to do and makes their vision happen, you're never going to do what you want to do. You're going to be broke. You're going to struggle with finances. You're going to have a hard time finding happiness. And I will tell you that the debt that you're going to accrue by trying to get into what you want to do won't matter to you. It just won't. Get out there and do what you need to do. Now, I'm not saying being frivolous. I'm not saying going out there and blowing all of your money on stupid stuff that doesn't go anywhere. But there is a certain cost of doing business. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you become less afraid of chasing what it is you actually want to do, the sooner you're going to be in a good place.
At the end of the world. And one thing you'll have gained is peace of mind. You'll have that experience of going to a college you don't love. Jeez, it's getting dark. A lot of things going against me to make this video. Ooh. No, I want that to be darker. I mean, that's pretty good. You've learned how to roll with the punches like I just had to do with the lighting of
Totally.
this video. So sometimes your what ifs might be correct. I have been right about bad case scenarios in the past.
Yeah.
But it usually ends up just not being as bad as I thought. 3, the cavalry is...
We end up weighing negatives a lot stronger than what we should. And that's because our brains are just wired to survive, and negative things have a much higher effect on our survival rate than positive things do.
Coming. I got this from Mark.
A big influx of resources is spent a lot faster than you recover from a huge dramatic loss of resources.
Duplass speech at South by Southwest when he talked about making movies.
Oh, this is the guy who made Creep.
From Mark Duplass speech at South by Southwest when he talked about
I know, because he's the
making
main
movies.
actor in Creep.
And this
That
is the
movie's
really,
great.
really hard truth. The cavalry is not coming. It sucks.
Everything with me is making videos and movies because that's what I do. You can apply this to other things though. Bird
I
watch.
used to always say that I just wish that somebody would come and pluck me out and allow me to do what it is that I want to do. But that's not real. As he said, the cavalry is not coming. If you're not going to make it happen, it's not going to happen. That's just how it is. You're not going to become an engineer or a successful programmer or someone who makes compelling content or starts a really good business or becomes a millionaire or whatever it is that you want to do without you setting your goals, figuring out the pathway to it, and going there. No one can give it to you. Andrew Tate can't give it to you. These gurus on the internet can't give it to you. No amount of courses can give it to you. It's the same way as when you're a musician and you're looking for a producer to make your songs amazing. They can't do that for you. You have to learn how to do that. That's your work. That's your job. You have to get out there and do it.
Watching or whatever, he was saying how you can't just wait around for someone to swoop down from on high and hand you a bunch of money and say, hey, I see that you have talent. Your resume looks great. You went to college. Make me this thing. People want to see what you can do by you doing it.
Yeah.
But also, they might not even care then. So just do it yourself. Just do everything yourself.
There's so many people who want to do what you want to do. Now, the problem is that none of them are you, and there's always room for individuals. But the thing is that the positions are filled. I once wrote a line in a song where I said, we're all just actors auditioning for roles that they've already filled. And that creates this weird scarcity mindset. But it's our job to grow the market, to bring more people in, to show people that there's a thing that they haven't seen yet. And the only way that you're going to do that is by doing you.
The cavalry's not coming.
I used to see people who I admired, and I would think, oh, I wouldn't think this. This wasn't a real thought that I had, but my brain was doing this, and I was unaware of it. I would think, oh, that's the person I'm supposed to copy to be me. That's how I be me. I copy that person. But that doesn't work. I only became me by just giving up that concept, by quitting looking, by just behaving the way that I would in the moment, by figuring out what it is I wanted to do and just trying to do those things and not worrying about what my parents were saying to me about it, or if they were excited by the thing, or if they thought I was going to be successful, or what my friends thought about it. Just doing the thing that I wanted to do. It was important to me to do it, so I did it. Just like making these videos is important to me. I don't know why it's important to me, but it's who I am. There's just something inside of me that makes me want to show up and put myself on camera and talk to people about these things that are going on in my brain. Ever since I can remember, I've just wanted to spew verbally at anyone who would listen to me. And so that's what I'm doing now. That's why you're here watching this, is because I really want to spew verbally at you. I can't help it. It's just who I am. People will come in and tell me that, oh, you're just blah, blah, blah. You're just watching someone. Dude, this is what I do, okay? This video is 9 minutes long. My video is going to be double or triple that length. I am just trying to trigger the thoughts so that I can tell them to you and expand upon what my life is and how I'm thinking and what it's doing for me, because I think there's a lot of people out there who want to hear that. And I'm trying to locate those people, and so that I can have some sense of camaraderie or community or conversation or whatever it is that I'm searching for by doing this. But I know that it's part of me. So that's why I'm doing it. That's why you have to do things. Not because you think there's some kind of pot of gold at the end, not because you think that that's what you're supposed to do, but because you are that thing. It is part of you. It is entwined in you. You're not thinking about it. You're observing it happen. And it happens so much that you say, damn, I need to harness that because it's happening no matter what I do, and I can't stop it, so I might as well use it for something. That's what it is.
I think I believed the cavalry would come. My band, Riffless Pony Club, was playing for years. We were just like waiting for Mr. Big, like in Wayne's World, to come sign us and give us a $1 million record contract.
I did that
we were
too.
being a band during
I was in a
the
band
era
called
when
Letters.
all of that was dying. And even when it wasn't dying, it was probably pretty rare. When I started making YouTube videos, I was waiting for Steven Spielberg or something to come across my videos on YouTube and say, make me a movie. That's never going to happen. And now it's...
I mean, it does happen for some people. Extremely rare cases. Casey Neistat, the Neistat brothers, were lucky enough to find a situation to where they were able to get an HBO show before anyone had any idea who Casey and what's his brother's name? Oh, he has a YouTube channel now. He's the something man, the spiritual man or something. He's really good too. I can't remember his name.
Even less likely because it's so easy for anyone to put up anything. I think the most likely path to success is to just do it your damn self. Don't 100%. Expect help from others. Don't rely on others. Don't wait for others.
If you can accept that the cavalry won't come and just make yourself into the cavalry, it has your best chance of maintaining success. But more importantly, it gives you a chance to be happy.
For you are...
Now that's the thing. I've talked about this before, and this is the God's honest truth. I know that this looks like nothing. I know that what you think I'm doing right now is sitting here in front of a computer and all this magically happens and I click my fingers and I'm talking to you and I'm just watching a video and blah, blah, blah. There are so many skills going on here. And I'm not saying this to talk big about myself. Listen, I am one of the least talented people that I've ever met in my life. Everything is a struggle for me to do, and it's been a real challenge to get here. But the amount of skills that I've had to work on, okay? The amount of software that I know how to use, the amount of designs that I am aware of, the rules of how to make things, the things that are going on in videos, the way to do this format, all of those things are buzzing around in my brain. And I am constantly trying to add new skills to that to differentiate myself from other people who are also doing similar things. Because, like I said, when you watch a Mr. Beast video, there's an entire team of people. And I don't have an entire team of people, but I want to make really compelling content and videos. So I have to find a way to build those skills without getting paid a bunch of money to do it, because I don't make a dime off of this. And sometimes you have to do things that other people think are crazy. But what it does is creates a variance in you from other human beings. It creates a separation, an individual. When you put together enough skills that are strange to go together, you get something new. And new is what they're looking for.
Are not flawless. In fact, you are full of flaws. You're just a flawed jerk.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned. Especially when you're starting, you will likely fail.
Over and
you
over.
Fail often. I still fail. I can't think
I've
of
been trying to do this since 2016 was the first time I made my first YouTube video, and that's gone. You will not find them.
Super
You might
successful.
find them. Is my channel? Hold on. Let's go to my channel dashboard. I don't know if I can show this in the video or not. I'm just going to go look. Let's go to my content. Do I still have my older videos on here? Oh, I got 67 videos? That's crazy. Hold on. Okay, here's my vlogs. These were all terrible. No, okay. They're not on here. Okay, cool. There might be another channel. Let's just can you guys just stick with me for a second and I go and look at let's see if I can find. Let's just type in my Christian name, Cole Fleming. Okay, here's my music. I think this is just my music, though. Yeah, this is some Spotify shit that I don't understand. That's me on songs. Let's type in WV, maybe? No. Okay. Well, yes. Well, here's that State of My Art podcast that I was on. Here's old... this is my old channel. These are live videos that I posted from the old venue that we used to play at. Okay, so I can't find them. I made stuff in 8 years ago. I mean, that's 2016 still. So, I mean, at least in 2016, but before that, I mean, it was probably 2014 I was making YouTube videos. So, I mean, I've been trying to do this for a very long time.
Successful person who hasn't had failures. That's the
and none of it worked. That, I mean, 40 views, 30 views, 70 views, none of it worked. Put out music, 1,000 plays on a song. I have a cover of a Scott Pilgrim song that has like 30,000 views or 50,000 views or something at this point, and it's just nothing did what I thought it was going to do.
Nature of doing
fail
stuff.
a lot.
If you want to be someone who
You
does
grow
stuff,
from
you
that.
have to expect you are going to fail. But what is even failure even? Often failure is a little more subtle. Like if I make a video that doesn't get as many views as I hoped it would, it's still got thousands of views. It's rare that the failure is going to be so bad that it's completely life ruining.
No, 100%. I mean, my bad videos, my ones that don't perform well right now, get 70 views. That's insane. And they still have good watch time on them. People still watch them. It's amazing that anyone pays any attention to this, you know? So it's just, your failures are important to have, and you should look at them as successes in a way. I'm happy for the things that I've done poorly at. It's gotten me here.
Point is, don't try for something flawless.
And I'm not, this is not my final form, fellas. This is not my final form.
Perfect is the enemy of the good. Done is better than perfect. And there are
Totally.
ways to mitigate
Finish your
failure.
songs.
Roll with the punches. This video itself might fail. My voice sounded weird. The lighting was weird. I had to change it. I don't know if this subject is going to be interesting to a lot of you, but I just always remind myself that. That's always a possibility. There's going to be flaws in the thing you're doing. But that's no reason to not do it. Which leads to
100%.
number 5. It. That's something I tell myself. That's what I told myself
Me
before I
too,
started
dude.
this one. I told myself, well, I've done these kind of motivational videos before. Should I do another one? But it is like a way of highlighting how you are feeling in that very moment. Like, I feel like I want to do this.
Dan from Game Grumps said that one time. He called it the effort effective, right? Of just do it. Just do it. Whatever. Who cares?
And it's also a way of diminishing the importance of the thing you're doing, which to me is motivational. If a thing feels too important, I hesitate.
Me
But
too.
if you say, it's like, I can do anything. Making more things is better than sitting on them. Unless you're sitting on like a massage chair or a gel cushion or something. Those are good. But that worry about having done videos like this before leads to nothing's original. I've made 2
Nothing is
videos,
original.
shot-for-shot remakes.
That's the thing about this right here. I'm reacting to a video, and I'm creating content off of that video. And I've been a musician for long enough to know that the way that you make songs is that you listen to a whole bunch of songs, and then your brain processes those songs, and then when you're sitting down at an instrument, you stumble across things that feel familiar to you. And then as you start playing with those things that feel familiar, you end up stumbling out of that into some really strange territory. And a lot of times you make stuff that is not very good, but a lot of times you make stuff that is really good.
That were about how nothing was original. Don't let the feeling that what you're doing has been done before stop you. Pure originality is impossible. Life
totally
isn't
is.
about just doing things that no one's ever done before.
100%.
It's about doing things
Your way.
which might be similar to
Yup.
other ways. But that's not to say you should just directly copy something. I would never make a copy. Okay, number 7. Why am I?
Yeah, I think of that line from, I think it was maybe Mozart or Beethoven, who said, good musicians borrow, great musicians steal. And that's so true. If you want to know the secret to making a really good song, find a song that you absolutely love, and then as long as you're not an amazing musician who can directly copy something one-to-one, I have some friends who can do that, who can just absolutely recreate a song. But try to make your version of it. Listen to every single piece of it. Start at the exact same tempo, in the exact same key, go for the exact same go for the exact same measures on the intro, it starts with a piano part at the beginning with this distorted bass hitting. Make that exact thing, but just do it your way. Let yourself shine through that format.
Figure out the purpose of the thing. I find that figuring out the purpose of what you're doing is motivational, especially when you get lost and you don't know what to do next. Don't use originality as your guide. Don't use perfection as your guide. Don't use avoiding failure as your guide, or even your mood at the moment. Look at the actual reason that you're making.
And that's why I'm doing this. That's what it goes back to what I was saying earlier about I do this because it's part of me. Because this is who I am, because this is something I want to do deep inside of me, in my core. And I don't know why that's who I am, but I know that that's why I'm doing this.
making the thing. If you're doing a creative project, like you're making art, you're writing a book, poetry, video, movie, ask yourself, what do you want the audience to take away from this? Are you trying to teach something? Shed light on something? What's the core purpose here? If I can get a solid feeling of what that is, that carries me through. Maybe the purpose really is just dumb fun and an audience doesn't matter. Or if you're a brain surgeon and you're operating, you want to fix the brain, right? I hate it when I'm doing brain surgery and I'm like, oh man, I'm just having so much fun. It doesn't even matter. Oh, right, there's a reason. Making this video, I know that the purpose is to help motivate people who might be needing some.
And that's the really difficult thing about creative work, is that a lot of times it's super ethereal and you're always sort of searching for those solid things to hold on to while you're doing it, because if you don't, you'll get lost. And if you get lost, the thing never gets finished and you never get that out of you. You're trying to project, you're trying to take what's inside of you and make it visual for other people, because for a lot of us, the thing that's inside of us is borderline torturous if it doesn't come out. We feel segregated, we feel misunderstood, we feel all of these in the dark in some kind of way, and we feel that the light is inside of us, and if we can just get it out there and people can just see it, there will be some kind of understanding and it will do something. And I think that that's really a thing that drives us insane a lot of times, because it's not a super solid thing. You don't really know what's inside of you, and that's why I'm drawn a lot of times to, in my educational life, in my scholarly life, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, I'm drawn to software engineering, which is something that's direct problem solving. Here's my problem. How do I solve it? Let me work towards that goal. If this code doesn't work and doesn't solve that problem, then I haven't gotten to that goal. And that's because the other side of me, the creative side of me, is this thing that's very ethereal and intangible. And I like to do things with the other part of my life that is a reprieve from that.
Some motivation. So everything I say, I'm picturing you and maybe just unmotivated 20-something Craig in my head. That's almost every video I make. Unmotivated 20-something Craig is my deep inspiration. So that's the list. If you're ever in a bind, if you're ever not starting, if you're ever not continuing, if you're ever not pooping, tell yourself these things.
Drink some Miralax.
I don't know if they'll help with the pooping. I don't know if I was ever constipated because I thought my poop was unoriginal. But maybe. So I hope that helps you find motivation. And now I hope to help meet your nutrition goals with Factor. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring this video.
Gotta watch the ad,
Factor
guys.
provides you with 35 plus weekly flavor
I want to get Factor so bad.
Packed, fresh.
The first, I want it to be on record that if I ever have large expendable income, the first thing I will do is order Factor meals, and I will eat Factor meals 2 times a day, maybe something like that, just to free up dishes and cooking, because that consumes so much of my life. I feel like I'm always in the kitchen trying to figure out what either I or Tiff are going to eat. In every household, or at least in every household that I've been a part of, one of you is the cook, and it is always me. I did it for a living for a long
Never
time.
frozen meals delivered right to your doorstep and ready to eat in 2 minutes, which is good because your doorstep
Even
is
in the
very
business
busy
that I
and
run in Artisan, I mean, I'm the guy who makes the products. I'm the cook there too.
you'd love to get those meals pretty quickly. Stop feeding your doorstep.
brain works
Take
well
the
on
meals
that.
for yourself. Doorsteps don't need to eat. Life hack: Factor provides restaurant quality stuff. Premium
That
ingredients
doesn't
like
look good.
shrimp, salmon, filet mignon. One of my favorite words with a silent G. A silent G is a sign of quality.
But I want
add-on options, Greg. Okay, how about just 60 plus add-on options? Juices and shakes,
I wouldn't
chocolate
drink
truffle
any of
bar,
that.
vanilla
I wouldn't drink
cheesecake,
those.
peanut butter
Ooh,
bites. Out of all
those.
methods
I
of
wouldn't
getting
eat those.
protein, theirs is one of my favorite ways.
I buy way in bulk.
Fun fact, Factor is owned by HelloFresh, which I also enjoy because it helps me get more comfortable with cooking. I like going between the two. Sometimes I want...
I don't understand. I'll never understand people who say they're uncomfortable with cooking. I just don't get it. It's just, didn't you grow up watching the Food Network all the time in your house, watching Alton Brown and Giada De Laurenta and Rachel Ray and Bobby Flay and Mario Batali? Did you guys not grow up watching all those people every single day? Just watching people make different recipes?
I want to prepare
Learning how to roast a whole
Sometimes I
chicken
wanna
when you were
prepare
12
a
years
meal.
old?
Options.
Wasn't
I
that
love
you?
it when the option fairy pays a visit. I already did like it because it was a number that divided the given number evenly or exactly, leaving no remainder. But now I also like it because it's delicious and it's an easy way to get grub into my craw, leaving
What's
no...
that called? Where you % sign, instead of division, use a % sign and it gives you what the remainder of that is. it'll come to me.
remainder. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code Wheezy50 for 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code Wheezy50 at factor75.com for 50% off your first box and 20% off your next 4 boxes. The Quad. Thank you for watching. I apologize for my voice. Normally I sound like this.
I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be
That's Morgan Freeman.
caged.
It'll get back there. And I hope I helped you in some way to get started on that thing you just keep not starting. As long as it's not a doomsday machine. How about a bloomsday machine? That would be pretty. Or a shroomsday machine. That would be unpredictable. Maybe don't do that. Ooh, a whomsday machine. Then everyone will use the word whom correctly. Finally, the world needs better grammar. And if you need some cooking
I agree.
inspiration, in my
I'm
previous
terrible at
video, I show
grammar.
you the stupid basics of cooking. It's fun. And this weekend on my Patreon,
I would love to go get an English degree one day. If I had an expendable income and I could go just frolic about in the what is the word? Academic, in the academic world, I would go get an English degree because I think that would be so interesting to get really good at actually really good. I think it would be a really interesting to go get to improve myself and improve the English language that I speak.
and I'm doing my first Jackbox Games
right,
Hangout for
and think about
patrons. You can click there to be a patron. Hangout May 26th, noon central. I think I need to drink some lemon tea or something.
And when they fly away, the place you live in is that much more drab.
Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you, Wheezy Waiter. If you're not already subscribed to Wheezy Waiter, go subscribe to him. I spend a lot of time. I haven't watched his videos before. I watched so many Wheezy Waiter videos. I tended to not subscribe to people before I started doing this because I like the effect of clicking the button and you guys seeing it. But damn, Wheezy Waiter makes such good content. He's been around forever and he's incredible. But yeah, I think that this is that thing that I always think about that we're all trying to do is why do I do this? Why am I out here making these videos? I really appreciate this video and this kind of content because it makes me so sure that I'm doing the thing that I need to do, that I'm out here trying to make the decisions that will get me to where I want to be. And man, thanks, bud. Appreciate you.